so today is the first day of learning the surface area of prisms. Like we did in the first day of the cylinders, it's going to be similar. What we're going to do is we're going to use the lateral surface area, and then we're going to multiply by, add the bases. So again, the lateral area is going to be the perimeter of that shape times the height. That's the lateral. It's like taking this shape here and opening it up into this net, and then adding all those areas together. So the formula that we're going to be using is this one here. So it's the lateral area, which is the perimeter times the height and the two bases. So when we look at this particular one, we are going to have, let's see, we want the perimeter of the whole thing, so the perimeter is going to be this right here. So that's going to be perimeter equals 6 plus 9 plus 6 plus 12, and all of that together is 23. So that's the perimeter of that trapezoid. So we're going to use that number right here. That's the perimeter. So then I need the height of that trapezoid. I mean that prism. Well, the height is 15. The height is always the distance between the two bases. So the two bases are, of course, trapezoids. So now we have to figure out the area of a trapezoid. Well, remember the formula for the area of a trapezoid. It's back again. 1/2 of the height times the sum of the bases. So we say 2 times 1/2. Well, if we look at the trapezoid over here, the height is going to be this 4. And the bases 9 and 12. So this is going to be 9 plus 12. And when we type all that into your calculator, you're going to get 84. Oh, I didn't do the area of the lateral area. So that's going to be 23 times 15, which is 345. Okay, so now I'm going to say the lateral area, 345, plus the area of the two bases, which is 84. And when we add that all up, we get 429 units squared. Now we've got a hexagon, a hexagonal prism. So, well, the whole thing what we have to do is figure out the lateral area. So again, the lateral area is going to be the perimeter times the height. Well, the perimeter of this hexagon is going to be 6 times 6, because it's 6 sides. So that equals 36. And then the height, remember that's the distance between the two bases. There's the height. So that's 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that 36, pop it in here. 12 right here. And when we multiply that, we get 432. That's units squared also. And let's see, so now what we have to do is we have to figure out the bases. Okay, so we've got a hexagon. Okay, well, we're going to take a triangle out of this hexagon because we need the apothem. Remember that? Because the formula for a hexagon is 1/2 apothem times the perimeter. So I'm going to draw this triangle. I'm going to take this right out of there because that's too small for me to write in. When we have a hexagon, we know that we create a right triangle here that is a 30, 60, 90. And this is 30, and this is 60. So it's a 30, 60, 90. We use a special right triangle, so we know that the apothem is 3 radical 3. Okay, so now I think I've got everything I need, right? So the first thing we're going to do is write in the 2 for the 2 bases. Then I've got 1/2 times the apothem, which is 3 radical 3, times the perimeter. Well, we already figured out the perimeter, that's 36, times 36. And when you type that into your calculator, you end up with 187.1. Well, now in order to figure out the whole total surface area, we're going to plug in those numbers. 432 plus the 187.1. So the total surface area is going to be 619.1 units squared. Well, now we can do this backwards as well. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be figuring out what our lateral area is and what our bases are. And you're going, okay, McFadden, right. How am I going to do that? Well, we still can do it because we have the surface area here. So we know that this is going to be 450 inches squared. All right, now it's not as complicated as it looks. Hang in there. Okay, we want the lateral area. Well, that's the perimeter times the height. Okay, well, perimeter. Let's see, perimeter is right here. It's a square, so we know that it's side squared. So the perimeter is going to be side squared, which is what? That's going to be x squared, because here's the side. So the area, no, stop that. That is not what I'm saying. Okay, never mind. We need the perimeter. So if we add this all up, it's going to be 4x. X plus x plus x plus x. 4x. Not the area there. Okay. And then we multiply it by the height. Well, the height is 4x. Times 4x. And we end up with 16x squared. Don't forget to do that. All right, now we want the 2 bases. So the bases are 2 times, the base is going to be x squared. So we have 2x squared. Okay, now I've got it all clear in my head. So we've got 16x squared plus 2x squared equals 450. Well, I can do that math now. Take a look. We end up with 18x squared equals 450. Divide both sides by 18. and you get x squared equals 25, and x equals 5. So the side of these, the measurement of each side is 5 inches. All right. Let's see if I can do this one now. All right, we have the lateral area is going to be the perimeter times the height. Well, the perimeter, again, if we add all this up, x plus x plus x plus x is 4x. The height is x. So when we multiply those together, we end up with 4x squared. Well, the bases, this base here and this base here, we have to figure out those. So it's a square again. So the area of the base is x squared. But we have to multiply by 2. So we end up, I'm going to do this in green. Sorry, guys. This and this. Okay. So then we end up, that is going to be 2x squared. Now we have the surface areas right here. So we're going to put it in over here. And we end up putting this as 4x squared plus 2x squared. All right. So we end up with 6x squared equals 600. So we divide each side by 6. X squared equals 100. So the side is 10 feet. And that's prisms. So have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow with all of your stuff done.